me, who are you, boy? If you're in my way, you better move, boy. I don't ever miss a cue like schoolboy. Ain't no telling what I'ma do, boy. Ha, 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 ha. I bet you thought you had me figured out, but nah, 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 nah. I'm way too unpredictable.
Hello, welcome to the Tech Disruptors podcast. My name is Jason. My name is Jason. Yeah, my name is Jason. That's the first time in 18. You know what? I'm befuddled because we have Jojo here. I'm trying to impress her. I screwed up my own name. My name is not Jason. My name is Darren.
My name is Jason, and
that's what it says
now because my light just fell on the ground. So I'm going to pick it up here after we're done.
And below us is our very special guest today, and her name is
Jojo.
Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. All right, introduction's done. That was a terrible start.
That's it.
Sorry. Okay, welcome to the Tech Disruptors podcast. And for those of you who are new or discovering us for the very first time, we love to talk tech. And just like every other week this year, it has been a chaotic week in the world of tech. Lots of things going on. Lots of little tidbits. AI dominating the news again, and we're going to start in a few moments with a little bit of nightmare fuel. And Jojo, because you're relatively new to our podcast here, I'm going to start by asking you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, with all of this crazy AI stuff that we're seeing coming out, how terrified are you that we're going to be overtaken by our AI-powered robot overlords and potentially being made slaves to the human race?
Not too much. But just in case, I always say please and thank you. Just in case.
Just in case, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you do that when you use your Google Assistant? Because yes, I do that.
Yes,
so do I.
Yeah. I'm like, thank you.
Isn't that funny, right? It's funny how when we have these assistants in our homes, whether it's Google or Siri or whoever, the need to be polite always trumps, us being rude or mean to it. Like I know my 11-year-old son, and he is constantly terrorizing my and he'll ask the dumbest things, right? He'll ask it, why are you so stupid? Why are you not giving me the answer I want? He'll ask these, questions and the Google Assistant doesn't, it responds in jest and says, hey, I can't help you with this.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. In fact,
are we in fear that if we don't please and thank you, that Google, or not just Google, Alexa, whoever, I shouldn't have said that, will come back and get us later when they're a little bit smarter?
That's a good question.
I don't think they will be, but just in case, I want to be on the good list, just
there
in case.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, at least she was polite to us. She wasn't mean. I figured, the people that are rude will go first.
Well, my theory on this is because it's learning, if we keep saying please and thank you, maybe it will just learn the behavior and will start to react that way and will treat us like we want to treat it, right? So kind of like, yeah, and I'm okay with that. Now, if you've been following our podcast, Jason and I have been following robotics and AI integration because we're terrified that someone's going to implant OpenAI into the brain of one of these humanoid robots.
Boston Dynamics.
Like Boston Dynamics.
Black Mirror.
So, you know what I hate about those videos, Jojo brother? When they like kick it or hit it and it doesn't go down. I'm like, the other's gonna be mad. It's gonna backhand you.
So I think this may be a sign that we're coming to an end. And we've been following this for a while now. We've been different videos, different companies making these things, but someone's finally done it. They've taken OpenAI and they've implanted it into the brain of one of these humanoid robots. And I want to
Scarlett Johansson.
It doesn't sound like Scarlett Johansson, but we talked about that last week. That's a missed opportunity.
She's suing them, right?
Well, I understand that. Yeah. So, but I want to start by showing you guys what we describe as nightmare fuel. So this is a video. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can pull it up on screen here for you guys. So I'm just going to play this now. Without out of context, this may seem a little bit weird, but this is a robot AI with the brain of speech-to-speech reasoning, which again, terrifying.
Oh my, it's creepy already.
Yeah, I don't know why they need faces. It creeps
Hey,
me
Figure
out.
One, what do you see right now?
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great, can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
It's the delicacy of that touching that apple
Great,
freaks me out.
Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
So is this Lamb, large action model?
It is, yes.
Great, so based on the scene right now, where do you think the dishes in front of you go next?
This is great. Watch this.
In the trash.
The dishes on the table, like that plate and cup, are likely to go into the drying rack next.
Great, can you put them there?
Of course.
Now, okay, do you see what it just did? Cup down.
Mm-hmm.
That creeps me out. How does it know it should go?
I can't get my kids to do this. I need one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the exact same thing.
All right, so how do you think you did?
I think I did pretty well. The apple found its new owner, the trash is gone, and the tableware is right where it belongs.
Okay. So I'm going to just pause it there for a second. So I don't know about you guys, but I see that and I go, that is some scary shit.
I mean, the way that it sounded so human with the arms and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, but you
It's
think
creepy.
this is
It
like,
sounded like someone was in the back, with a mic.
and that's what I'm
voicing
thinking.
those.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
like set up. I don't know if it's really that. I don't know. It's
Well-
hard to believe these things right now.
Well, that's the thing, right? So I know when we see these videos, you just don't know how much this has been edited and changed. Now, the thing that worries me, even if the voice is not real, and I know this is such a subtle thing, but that cup, it putting the cup down into that dish dryer,
Which is right.
which is the right way to do it. Now, did they train that or does it just know? And that's where the line is a bit gray for me.
I think
I'm
AI is a mixture. It's learning and it's also from what it can.
experience, I guess, right?
Right,
Like what
right,
it's, yeah. So that was OpenAI.
Hey!
Hey, hey, Kia, how's it going?
Hey,
Yes.
hey, Kia, we color coordinated.
Hey, JoJo. Yeah.
Kia, we were just talking about a little video there we were just watching where someone has planted OpenAI into the brain of one of these humanoid robots. And I'll ask you the same question, Kia, that I asked JoJo here. On a scale of 1 to 10, how terrified are you that we're going to be, extinct as a human race?
I'm very terrified,
process.
actually. I'm very terrified.
Well, what you guys don't know is that Darren's actually open AI right now.
It's true.
And
I-
how human like it is.
It's all a
listen, if-
simulation.
If this is the best that AI could generate, then it's failing. This is terrible. Sorry. Yeah, the voice, I don't know what's going on there. They just took Chris Hemsworth.
Can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Keel, yep, you sound
You're good.
amazing.
It's a little loud though. Little.
It is. Okay,
Yeah.
let me scoot back.
I got
Is
you.
that
I can
better?
help you out there. There we go. Yeah, we got you.
All right.
There we go. So I know there's so much crazy things happening in the world of AI, but AI has also dominated the news this week because one of the biggest companies in the entire world has
Play
decided
school.
that
Play school.
Play
Yeah,
school.
Play
Yes. Yeah, LG is getting. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Apple has finally decided to take a step into the world of AI. Now, a funny story this week. So I want to talk a little bit about this, and this is a story from Android authorities. So It's believed that Apple has signed on with a deal with OpenAI, which is the same company you just saw in that robot video with the responses happening. But what gets interesting here is the second part of this headline here, which apparently they're still keeping Gemini. They want to have Gemini as a backup. Now, I don't know how this deal works, but I will just first say the owners and creators of OpenAI there, they know how to strike a deal because they've also got a deal with Microsoft. So they're going to have a deal with Microsoft and with Apple to bring AI to, I believe, what will be the next release of Apple's software there. Now, Jojo, I know you're a big fan of Google and what Google's doing with Gemini AI and their hardware. So what's the play here? What's Apple trying to do, not fully investing and buying into Gemini and going with OpenAI, but keeping like an ace up their sleeve, we'll call it?
Probably. I mean, I think that they're considering what happened with that company. Was it OpenAI that had the issues with the management and people getting fired?
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why they have a plan B. And also, I mean, I don't know what it entails. I don't know how they're going to be able to. Are they going to be able to combine the two AIs, or they're going to have to use one or the other? I don't know the exact, details of that, but
yeah, there's not a lot of details in the article here. Apart from the fact that they called Gemini an option. Now, I almost wonder if they've gone to give you the choice to choose.
No, Apple.
I don't think so.
No,
not very Apple-like. No.
You know, it just seems like
and I
to
think
me, it's like I'm going to get married, but I want to have this girl on the side as a backup.
Yeah, that's what exactly what it is.
That's what it sounds like, or vice versa. It's weird.
Yeah, I think that they're going to take whatever they're going to take, and then they're just going to rebrand it. Well, not rebrand, but they're just going to absorb it into Siri, and it's still going to be Siri because they have to be unique.
Yeah.
So
now,
as far as taking, from both, or whether they're just going to stick to one,
yeah,
we're going to have to see.
Now, okay, so you've probably seen some of the OpenAI stuff and some of the Gemini stuff. So,
yeah,
what fundamentally is the choice over Gemini? What does OpenAI have that Gemini doesn't? Because that's really what I think it boils down to.
For me, it's because I'm so heavily invested in the ecosystem.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm heavily invested in the Google ecosystem. So the fact that I can plug in Gemini to my Google Docs and to my YouTube Music and to pretty much all the apps that I use, it really helps me. And it helps me with my workflow because I can have it summarized, stories, articles, and that really helps me with my workflow. I know that I can probably, get better answers with ChatGPT, but I can't easily, translate that into put them back into Docs and using, my Grammarly and, whatever stuff I use every day. So for me, it's just more like convenience. Yeah, it integrates better with my workflow and it's more convenient for me.
But wouldn't you think Apple would want to do that? Because a lot of people use Apple or Google apps on an Apple device.
On an Apple device, yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, but Google apps have always been second-class citizens on iOS, always. And that has never changed.
I get that.
Like Gboard?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gboard, what's funny? I always think back to Gboard because Gboard fundamentally would replace the Apple keyboard, hands down, if Google had the option to integrate it into Apple's ecosystem the way that they want to. And I mean, you look at Gboard on any other Android device and it's phenomenal, right? It does everything you would want a keyboard to do. It autocorrects, it does the voice to text fantastically. What is Apple's play here? So why did they go with OpenAI over Gemini? What's the reason?
Well, she kind of said it already, but
aside from the fact that they probably don't want to be, called, the ones who use Google in their phones, they'd rather use another company than Google.
So it's cloud. So is it just is it competition? Is that what it is?
I think it's competition. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think Apple wants to be known as that company that uses, just like we use Google Search and iOS.
Yeah,
I think they want another one of those.
What surprises me is why doesn't Apple just go buy ChatGPT? That's what they did with Maps. They bought TomTom and invented apps. Or Google or Maps. I'm sorry.
Maybe it's not for sale. I almost wonder that they're getting so much money. OpenAI must be making a killing. Like, I wonder what their evaluation is for their company, because it's got to be
with
something
with Rabbit and Humane making hardware AI devices, even though they failed, they raised tons of money and made some money. It opens the floodgates for everyone to make something with. You could just put the hot word AI in it, and you're going to sell it.
Right.
Okay, so
that's the thought.
So OpenAI is worth $80 billion.
Just FYI, you guys, this is now Tech Disruptors with
I
AI.
cannot afford it. No.
No, sorry, we can't afford it. Sorry, guys. Yes.
This is Tech Disruptors with AI. Subscription
Kia,
fees. No, just kidding.
So now that you can see what Apple's doing, does it change anything for you? Because I know you're you're into Android too. I know you have a few different Android devices. Now, does that mean anything to you as a consumer that Apple's bringing? No, not at all, eh?
Because
why is that?
I'm not really a big fan of AI like that just yet. Haven't dug into it,
Right.
So even if they do have those features, I probably wouldn't use them.
Interesting. Okay. I wonder how.
What's interesting, general consumers, do you really think they're going to use the advanced AI things anyways? And
probably not.
The rumors are Apple's going to put it like in the messages, iMessage, and
the
basics at first.
Yeah, well, good. It's good for that kind of stuff. I would use it for that kind of stuff and like helping your YouTube channel grow and stuff like that. But otherwise, I'm not going to be using it on a daily basis. AI, it's just like, okay, it's there, but I don't have to use it.
Yeah.
But now
I think they'll use it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you good, JoJo. But eventually, I believe that's going to be the norm. People are going to have to use it. We're just going to get used to doing it, and boom, it's just going to evolve over time.
What were you going to say there, JoJo?
I think that they're going to use it if it's like right in their face. Like if there's always some kind of prompt telling them, okay, you wrote this, you want to translate it, or you want to, because I'm already getting all of that with Gemini in Docs. Like I said, I'm already getting offered, do you want to summarize this? Do you want to paraphrase it? Do you want to do this? So if it's in their face, they will use it.
Now, Jojo, do you use the advanced, the higher end, or okay?
I do have the advanced, yes.
And that's included with the Google One Premium tier,
with the
correct?
Google Cloud Premium. Yeah, I think there's an AI tier. That's the one that I have. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Right. Now, how do you find the experience using that when it comes to have you used any other AI besides Gemini? Have you tried any of these other ones?
I have tried ChatGPT, but I did not try the newest one, the newest update.
Okay.
I've seen videos, but I haven't used it myself. But I do find that, for example, when asking Gemini to summarize, I do find that the language is a little more human, a little more easy to understand than ChatGPT. Now, at least from my experience with the older ChatGPT.
We talked about this last week. So, this big controversy with Scarlett Johansson. So Scarlett Johansson was asked, is basically suing this company saying, hey, you can't use someone that sounds like my voice. And the point that we brought up last week was, did she miss a golden opportunity to just cash in and be like, sure, use my voice. Every time someone uses this assistant, pay me $5.
True. Royalties, nice.
Yeah, I think that because she had that bad experience with Disney, I think she's being careful. Yeah. Why is she always in the middle of these battles? I mean,
I don't know, man. I would do that too. She's just right there, right in the heart of it. I mean, we talk about the movie Her. I don't know if you've seen the movie.
Yes, of course. Mm-hmm.
So we always, Jason and I have always argued that we think that the end goal for a lot of smart devices, folding phones, that kind of stuff, is to have that experience that's in that movie, where it's a pocketable AI assistant that basically does everything. I think having her as the voice of AI is a brilliant move, because I honestly feel
we know why. We know why.
Well, okay, yeah, no, and this we talked about that.
Well, no,
yes, we did talk about that.
I just feel like her voice is very
soothing.
Yeah.
Plus, probably some male fantasies there too. Not you specifically,
I'll be honest,
but in general.
So we played it, and if you didn't know, I don't know Scarlett Johansson's voice. I've seen some movies with her in it. I wouldn't even know that was even associated until someone actually said, "Hey, you know what? Kind of sounds like Scarlett," and then you kind of hear it. I think it's whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I understand what Jojo is saying. I think there would be, I think you would have to have some AI rules in place. Would be the best way I could describe it. Especially
and that goes
for
back to Google. You know, I think
Yeah.
the reason why Gemini is kind of more restrained than ChatGPT or even Copilot is because Google's, they're pioneering these restrictions to make sure, AI doesn't get out of hand. Whereas I feel,
Yes.
I'm not saying ChatGPT isn't, OpenAI isn't, but it seems like they're more loose with those. I could be totally wrong about this. But with a company like Google or Apple, they've got to be a little more careful with AI because they are more in the limelight. Microsoft,
Yes.
Copilot, that kind of stuff.
100%.
We've seen what happens anytime AI messes up, with
Oh my God.
with,
Yeah.
Google can't get a break.
there's a big scandal, yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Now, we know that Apple's integrating AI into their software, and it might. And look, we don't know what the magnitude of that's going to be. If it's Apple, I don't think they're going to go all in, guns a blazing. I have a funny feeling it's going to be a slow integration. Probably with the next iPhone is where we'll see. I guess maybe some of the AI advancement is probably what I'm getting at. Jason's losing.
They gotta talk
there.
AI. What else are they gonna talk
I'm sorry.
about?
We were talking
See,
about
they
Google
don't-
and
see,
Gemini,
AI
and my
doesn't
Gemini
like-
just answered me. It started
Oh,
talking.
right.
You didn't hear it?
Oh.
It was like,
No, we didn't hear.
I didn't
we
hear
didn't
what you
hear.
said. Could you please?
AI doesn't like me already. It just cut me off as soon as I get to talking.
Oh, Kia, you're gonna be careful. Apple already is not fans of
What is
the
it,
Tech
Skynet?
Disruptors
They're watching
podcast.
you.
Yeah.
They're
So,
watching.
so another company that's been investing heavily into AI has been Google. So Google this week also had some new integrations into their Chromebooks, I believe. And Jojo, you might be the expert to talk to us about this.
I do have one right here.
So
You have one of the new ones?
Yeah, I have one of the new ones.
Oh, I want to try one of those so bad. They look like they're really nice devices.
So this is the Chromebook Plus, I believe. Oh, look at you go, Jojo. Fancy. I like it. I like.
Which one is that?
That's the Acer 514.
Nice.
Nice.
Acer Chromebook.
So, Jojo, you've had probably a bit of experience with the AI software features on the Chromebook. So, what can you give us an overview of kind of what they're bringing in? What's the main feature set, I guess, that they're bringing to these laptops?
Well, it's a lot like Gemini on a desktop. It's going to be on device, so you can actually like call up the AI while doing any task. So you can be in the middle of not just web, but you can be in the middle of Android apps and kind of like just right click on any text field and invoke, Gemini to help you with, whatever task you need. There's also a lot of yes, thank you, because I made a video about it and I'm already like
That's okay. I got it right there for you. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you something. It comes with Gemini Advanced for 1 year, correct?
Yeah, which
That's
is how I
cool.
have it because I was able to take advantage of the
That's
offer.
that's exactly why I want to buy one. And I like Chromebooks anyways.
Yeah.
And you can use it wherever. You don't have to use it on the Chromebook. I mean, as long as you have it and you activate it on that Chromebook, then you have it for a year.
And so you have it. And what I've seen, now I've never used one. I've only seen a few videos from like Chrome Unboxed or whatever, the big channel on YouTube. It sounds like, you can use Gemini on a phone, but it's restricted by screen, real estate. This is better. Plus you can use it on the big screen. So you have more things you can do. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
I mean,
And is it
right
system-wide integration? Like, is this from like it's found within the actual ecosystem?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's built into to Chrome OS. There's a PWA that comes in already pre-installed with the Chromebook Plus. There is you can call it up in like different parts of the OS.
Right.
But a lot of the AI, it's not just Gemini. A lot of the AI advancements with Chromebooks is also that you can do more stuff with photos. Like you can now have Magic, the Magic Editor.
Yes.
And that's in the Android app. So it's not just, it's because you can run Android apps on Chrome OS. It's not just the web based part of Chromebooks that gets all the Gemini goodies.
So looking at
it's Chromebook Plus, right? Chromebook Plus.
Chromebook Plus.
Yeah.
So all those AI generated wallpapers, all that stuff that you see on desktops, you can, not everything, but you can do a lot of that stuff now on Chromebooks.
And plus, it's got the more RAM, faster processors. Which does Chrome really need that? No, but it's that little extra that you need for
it's kind of like it's a mixed bag. I mean, the thing with Chromebook Plus is that you have to have a certain amount of RAM. You have to have a minimum of 8 gigs. You have to have a minimum of 128 gigs of storage. You have to have a certain a minimum CPU. You have to have a good webcam that has temporal noise reduction. You know, so there are requirements. Okay. But like even at the low end, which is this one that I just showed you guys, this is one of the low end ones, which is like $350. Nice. I was able to video edit on that Chromebook, and I was able to do a lot of things on that Chromebook.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, with just an i3, it's just CapCut.
Really?
Wow.
The web version. So it's not even the Android web version.
Wow.
I use CapCut all the time. Maybe I need to get me a
CapCut's pretty good.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know that CapCut has an online version.
Yeah.
I had no
I've
idea.
never used the web version. Nice.
I use it on
I thought it was just Android. I thought it was just like the apps.
Huh.
Now, looking at the feature set here in this graphic that's up on the screen, so I can see that it also has writing and reading integration, so helping me read, helping me write, which I understand, which is I guess helpful. So with Google releasing with the Chromebook Plus and this Gemini Advanced integration into the OS, is the play a productivity play? Is this like meant to help? I'm assuming students. Like who's the target audience of this?
So I think that's what they're trying to get away from, because for years now it's been Chromebooks are just for students or just for like it's just for the older crowd who just want to check emails. They're trying to get away from that, and I think the whole thing with Chromebook Plus is that they want to sell the fact that you can have a more powerful Chromebook and not have to spend over $1,000 on it. It's in the past, if you wanted a good Chromebook, then you knew you were going to have to pay desktop prices
just like anything, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's what they're trying to do with this. They're trying to kind of rebrand the Chromebooks as not just an email machine or something for kids to check their homework or, do their homework.
I know here in Toronto, where I'm from, like every high school, I think, has Chromebooks. Like, I think that's the default thing. And I get it because, I mean, with, the budgets in schools here is tight, and they can buy, 10,000 Chromebooks at, $250 each if they buy in bulk or whatever. And they may last 2 to 3 years, and then they just, renew a contract and they go to the next additional iteration. But it's interesting that they're trying to get away from that, because I know for a lot of this education system here in Canada, that's kind of what they rely upon, is the fact that they have this budget laptop that's relatively easy to use. Now, my question is with the Gemini Advanced stuff. So what impact would this have on students who go and invest in a Plus version of the Chromebook? Like, what's the implications of that? Is that going to mean that they have an upper hand on their fellow students or the next person? Because I have a funny feeling that's kind of what I almost feel like some people will gravitate towards that for that reason, saying, "Hey, buy it for this reason because you're going to have the Gemini Advanced feature set there, right?" Would you buy one for your daughter, Jason?
Oh, absolutely, and it's in Google's best interest. She didn't say they were leaving the school.
No, 100%.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
I think that's going to stay. That's going to stay.
It up. Yeah. Everyone should have one, not just students. And I think AI is the future. And if we don't, and whether we like it or not, kids are going to be, they're going to experience it sometime. And Google is at least to me, is a more respectable company.
Are these some of the ones? It says Chromebook Plus. It has to have the plus on the end.
Well, you got to be careful.
If it says plus, then it's one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they said, I could be wrong, but I think it's just like Google's a pretty respectable company, and I'd rather AI be restrained by them. And they give you a lot of controls with the Family Link app and everything with Chromebooks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To me, that's the best recipe for a child. My kids both have Chromebooks now. Now they're obviously older, not the Plus, but when they're ready to go, I'm going to get them one of those. I think the AI is amazing. It's only going to help them, So yeah, I'd buy them for my daughter in a heartbeat and myself.
It's great for researching. I mean,
yes.
100%.
Back in the day,
back in the day,
library.
I used to use Encarta on CD-ROM.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
When the CD-ROMs
I used to have to go to a neighbor's house because I didn't have an encyclopedia. So
yeah. Wow, I forgot about Encarta. That's a throwback. I like that. That just I had like trauma just kick in my brain there. Oh, geez. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's back in the day there.
We were living on the edge when that came out.
That's true. That was like revolutionary.
But I'm only 25.
I know it's true.
It's kind of weird.
You just go back. It's fine. It's fine. One last little. We're all only under 25 here. Yeah. Now, one last AI story before we talk about some sad tech news. But have you guys heard of Claude, which is Anthropic's thing? No. So Anthropic, this is an article that just broke just before we went on air today. So Anthropic is the creator of Claude. It's another AI chatbot. But they're now allowing you to create what they're calling an AI agent, which is kind of like your own chatbot.
Oh, I've heard this, yeah.
So basically, it will, I guess, analyze your purchases, your history, your all of the things that you normally do. And it will allow you to create almost like your own virtual chatbot / digital assistant to assist you with, I'm assuming, things like managing your daily purchases and things of that nature. Which is interesting because they're opening this up to the public. So basically, they're having like a token system. But what they're saying here, and I just want to kind of highlight this, I don't know if you can see this, but it can work with images and applications to analyze visual data. And they gave an example here of a virtual interior design consultant that can use its AI smarts to provide room images and provide personalized decor suggestions. Now, what is interesting about this is this is a company that's basically saying, we can give you access to an AI chatbot that you can integrate into your daily workflow that will essentially allow you to do things that maybe you yourself don't want to do or can't do at any given time. Kia, I saw that.
That's my nephew. He's like, I'm just trying to see your friends. I was like, get out. I'm like, get out, go. Here, come say hi. Bye. Say, come say hi. Now go.
Hello.
You know, it's
our youngest tech disruptive fan. I love it.
Now, I usually have my dog, like Jojo. Like I have my dog usually on the couch next to me, but she likes to scratch and stuff. So I make her stay upstairs. Now she's upstairs at the door scratching because I'm in the basement. She likes to scratch.
Is that what that sound is? No, I'm just kidding. We can't actually hear it.
You heard the scratching? Oh yeah, it's my dog.
Sorry about that, guys. I try to get on my nerves.
So again, Anthropic here has been beta testing this.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. So
I mean, I saw this article today because I think it's interesting where AI is going. So I think what we can all agree upon here is that it doesn't matter what AI assistant you are engaging yourself with. Eventually, the end point is to have that Scarlett Johansson-esque her experience that is analyzing your emails, trying to organize your life, your calendar, and all that.
Or even like that Chat GPT 4.0 or whatever that video we watched, where it's like talking like in normal voice, like like being sarcastic.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
trying to be all flirty and funny and.
Delvon said, "Can he join with audio? Is that fine?"
I'm cool. I don't know, Dalvon. This is a video. Come on, Dalvon.
Who's that? No,
he must be in his car. Yes, Dalvon, you can join us, buddy. We sent you the link. Go ahead. All right, so guys, let's talk a little bit about we lost a classic tech bit of history this week. I know. Now, I don't know if you remember this, and Jason and Jojo, you were probably young enough to remember.
I might not have been born yet, Darren. I'm pretty young.
I remember my parents talking about it, but I was not around for it.
So this week we lost a classic pioneer of instant messaging.
No, before we go into this article, let me ask everyone out here.
Yes.
Kia, do you know ICQ?
Do I know? I don't know.
Okay. She's too young.
I figured. That's why. So here's my question. I was in college. When I was in college, Facebook was only allowed to be. You had to be invited by college. Okay.
Well, I've heard. I was told that.
Okay. So AOL Messenger, I use that.
Yes.
Yahoo Messenger, I use that. Microsoft
I'm familiar
Messenger,
with AOL.
And I used ICQ not as much. Did you guys all familiar with those?
Yeah.
I am very
AOL broke my heart when they left.
Oh yeah. Well, for like I know for
come on.
I know for me, ICQ was the beginning, and then it pivoted into MSN Messenger.
Oh,
like that's how so I know that's how I'm not that old, but I'm that old. But so ICQ, like I don't know this is my experience growing up in Australia. ICQ was I guess like the instant messaging on a PC. You had to be in front of the PC. You logged in, your friends logged in, you had conversations. Kind of like I guess iMessage today.
Just like AOL Messenger
or AOL Messenger.
Yeah, all those.
Yeah. Now, I didn't even know that ICQ was still around. I thought this thing died when dial-up died. But from what I understand, it had a little bit of a resurgence, and in the most bizarre place. So it had been running and it's been very popular in Russia up until 2010. And I had no idea that was the case, right? And then I think in 2020, they did a re-release. It got bought out by another company, and they tried to make a stable release of ICQ to make this thing come back. But, I mean, I don't know about you, but I haven't used ICQ since probably 1996.
That's the same year I was born. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm not as young as you guys think. I'm 33. Just want to throw that out there.
Okay, so but this would have been just after your time.
Sure, Kia, whatever, sure.
You're older than me. I'm only 25. Me and JoJo are only 25, so you're older than us. How do we know these things?
Listen, I'm not judging anybody's age. Okay. I'm just,
Let's get off a tangent here. Tech age. I remember MS-DOS when you have to type in like the whole thing to get it started. And billboards. Do you remember logging into billboards?
Yeah.
Probably no idea what the hell that even is.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I remember logging into billboards. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Now, I'm not joking.
Were illegal?
But yes, well, that's always true, yeah. LimeWire, rest in peace.
Oh, man. All the viruses.
I love LimeWire.
I know.
Well, LimeWire is not the same as it used to be.
Napster, all day long.
Over there all the time.
Now, you know what's funny? And I'll just tell a little side story here. I don't know if I've ever told you these guys this. When high school in Australia begins in grade 8. Actually, now grade 7, believe it or not.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
So grade 8 was high school for me, but my very first class in high school was a typewriting class. So you went into a room. Yeah, you went into
an actual
room,
typewriter.
Yeah, an actual typewriter, and there was about 30 of them in the class at little desks, and your teacher said,
"Y'all old, no."
Hold on. I believe me and Darren are pretty much the same age.
Same age.
When I was in high school, we had a keyboarding class. We didn't have typewriters.
So I'll tell you the history. So when I started high school, our school was still being built, so we were housed in an old convent where like nuns would be.
Dude, you're building a story up terrible.
Yeah, no, let me finish.
Where do you live?
No, like so it was an old convent building that they were using just for high school classes in the meantime while our campus was being built, because it was a brand new school that was being built. I actually think the reason we had typewriting classes is because they didn't have anywhere to put the computers. Because I remember when I started in grade 9, it went to a keyboarding class shortly after. And I honestly credit my writing ability and my ability to type fast to that grade 8 typewriting class. Is that the same with you, Jojo?
Yeah, so my high school we had computers. I'm not that old. We had computers.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one here.
We had computers.
But I had a choice to take computer class or typing in the first semester. I said, well, it makes sense to take typing first and then computer class, because I wanted to be able to type on the computer fast. You know, I wanted to be proficient at it. So that's why I took a typewriting class, not because there were no computers around. There were.
Listen, I know I've aged myself quickly there.
We had Apple IIe's in elementary school. We played Oregon Trail. I mean, come on.
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone knows. Everyone played Oregon Trail, right?
Yeah, I know the game. I know it. Yeah.
I still play it. They have the new version of it.
But getting back to what you said, Jason, you were talking about MS-DOS. So I remember in the keyboard class, our teacher was really ahead of the game, quote unquote. He was getting us to code music using DOS. So like creating a rhythm, a MIDI or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, MIDI probably.
And we thought that was progressive. We were like, holy shit, we're making our own music by typing in, letters and numbers and instruments like that.
Look, in MS-DOS, I actually had an application that I typed to start, and it had like a Windows before Windows was around, and you could you created like shortcuts, and you clicked on it, and it would take you to Doom or Wolfenstein 3D or Word.
Yep. There you go.
He just said Doom.
Did you have to? Did you have to load the OS first with like 3 floppy disks before you actually logged into the OS?
Maybe 4.
Yeah.
Windows 3.1 was amazing when it came out.
Yes. Oh,
isn't that crazy?
Revolutionary. Yeah.
But I'm only 25. I heard these stories.
These are just things that we've heard.
You can't take my word. No.
Carmen Sandiego.
Say that.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, Carmen Sandiego. That's like everybody's first video game. I'm convinced.
No, my first video game was like Duke Nukem. Not Duke Nukem. I'm sorry, Wolfenstein 3D, and even before that, like Commander Keen.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I don't know none of them.
I was just never a video game person. I mean, I played solitaire like everybody else did, and Minesweeper.
Well, my dad was an engineer, so we would build computers. So my first computer I built was just for gaming, and back then gaming wasn't what it is now. Now I don't game at all. So
I think back. I know my dad was really into computers too, and he had a Commodore 64.
Oh man!
Do y'all?
And I remember. I remember playing. Say that again,
Frogger. That was Atari.
That was
Frogger. Oh yeah, yeah.
But wait. Frogger on Atari, or where did you play it?
On the computer.
Yeah. Oh, look at wow.
PlayStation.
Okay. Atari computer, of course. Right.
Yeah.
The Atari computer.
Did you have one? I had one of those.
I had an Atari.
Though.
Yeah. Yeah, Michael saying Atari 626.
Did you have a Tandy computer? I had a Tandy computer from Radio Shack.
Later on, but not
later on.
The original one. Yeah. But I mean, I've heard. I mean, I wasn't born yet, so I've heard.
The computer screens was horrible looking back then. Big and
monochrome. It was called monochrome.
And then you had to burn in. You had to burn in because they don't have.
And the monitors weighed 60 pounds. It's like.
The very first time I played a game on the Commodore 64, it was in my uncle's garage because it was so big, the computer, that he couldn't get it in the house. It was too heavy. So he just set it up where they could set it up, and it was in his garage. It was bizarre.
I just miss, like, shareware. Like, going to get, like, a PC Gamer magazine, and it had a disc in it, and you could have, like, all these freebies on it. I mean, you don't have that kind of stuff anymore.
I know. Good back in the day. Now, Delvon, you've just joined us. I'm hoping you have pants on.
Hold on. Delvon, you're not naked still, right?
Yeah. Definitely don't got no clothes on.
Oh, Lord.
I want to change your voice a little bit. Like, I got no clothes on.
Hey, look, man. Everyone throws the work clothes off when you get home, bro. I'm just saying.
Fair enough. I'm just hoping there's pants on. There better be pants on. I think that's the basic.
You got maybe socks. Maybe socks. Maybe two. Maybe one.
Delvon, we're in the company of two lovely ladies here, buddy. All right, we don't want to start posting that picture. Now, Delvon, you actually joined us at the exact right time. So I don't know if you heard this, but Google has now let you edit your RCS messages. Have you heard this?
Yes, I actually can do it on mine now.
Wow. Okay.
I gotta try.
Is it a Pixel exclusive?
Yeah.
Oh, but you got like 15 minutes, right, to do it?
No, I'm just on a beta, and sometimes the beta features come through, and sometimes they don't. But today it happened, it came through.
What is that?
You got Google Home widget. That's what I'm excited for.
Google.
I'm actually excited for that more than anything because I use Google Home like my house is controlled by Google. With all my Nest products in here and stuff, so that switch would be great because I actually have the home on the second page of my my setup or whatever like that, so I can quickly get to it. Even though I know I can swipe down from the top, obviously, right? Because it's up there too. But I find the one swipe is better than two. So
now, Dalvon, I know the ability to edit messages is obviously pretty important. Now, how many messages are you going to be editing now that you can do this? Because I mean, I know you've sent me a message that I'm pretty sure you can take back or edit.
I don't think I'm gonna be doing it much, to be honest with you. And I'm actually kind of bummed out by the 15-minute limit. I know everyone's different on that, but my thing is like, all you have to do is keep the original one and show that it was edited. So I don't understand these timers that these companies are doing. It's stupid to me. I prefer to just edit, and then it shows that, okay, here's the original message still here that you could click on and still see it. So
now, let me tell you this, right? So maybe those dick pics that you've been sending, now they only last for 15 minutes, right?
Wow. Yeah, I mean that is true. I got 15 minutes to Photoshop it to make it bigger.
In the background? Is there someone in the background saying, "Oh my god"?
Is that the Mrs. Dalvon? I'm sorry. He didn't send me a dick pic, I promise. Not on purpose.
She's up there cooking. She's cooking right now.
Okay, sorry. I completely sent us at the gutter there. I'm sorry. I gotta remember.
You gotta be careful, Darren, because he does have a battle angel that will come kill you.
I do. I would send her. You don't want that.
Now, listen, Dalvon, I know you just got some cases for the Google Pixel 8a, but you don't actually have a Pixel 8a. This is a travesty. We need to fix this.
Yeah.
We need to.
What's going on?
Dalvon on Team Pixel.
Google don't like me, man. They don't like me, bro. I don't know, man. I don't.
Last year at this time, we thought you had been signed on by Google because you were in all their marketing photos. So,
that's right. Yeah, you were. Remember that?
I remember that. Yeah.
I remember that was it, man. Like,
what's so sad? I didn't even get paid for my image, which is even more crazy.
I will tell you this: when I make videos on my YouTube channel,
did you get the phone? Aren't you a part of them?
No.
Me?
Oh, JoJo is, I believe.
No, I'm not. Well, I am not, sort of. I don't even know because I was, I guess, inducted into the Team Pixel thing when the 7 Pro came out and I got the phone. But then after that, that's when they changed whatever they changed, and now they only send phones to certain people, certain channels. So.
Yeah, I remember when Pixel Superfan started. And I was one of the first.
At least you own it, because I know a lot of my tech friends is on it, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But at least you own it.
The only thing that I get out of it is that I get an email every once in a while telling me what new features a Pixel has.
Yeah.
So
I was part of Pixel Superfan.
I'm not getting any products or anything.
And when Pixel Superfans first started, I was on the Facebook group, and I was doing live streams, and no one watched. And someone from Google reached out and said, "Hey, we want to sponsor one of these videos and give away stuff." I said, "Okay." So the next video I did, no one showed up. So, and it was cool at that time because they didn't give things out, but they had games and you had like a lot. I'm still super fan, and I get an email once a year. That's about it.
Well, I got these because I'm not on the group, but like sometimes if I post pictures on Twitter, I guess if they happen to like it, they'll be like, "We want to send you something." So, no, that's cool.
For me, it's complicated because I'm not just a creator, but I'm.
Sorry.
I was gonna say for me it's complicated because I'm also a journalist, and I don't think they want to give the impression that they're giving stuff away to a journalist. So that might have something to do with it. They don't tell you, but I kind of know that's probably why. But but I don't really get the phones by being a journalist because I'm not the one reviewing the phones.
Yeah, I hear you. Dalvon, you definitely. I would have thought you definitely would have been on there because you.
Well, here's the problem with Dalvon. Dalvon doesn't use a Pixel device to record his videos. He uses a DJI device.
It's true.
So you're in trouble.
Hey, but every video is a Pixel video.
I know.
Every video, yeah.
Dalvon, did you ever reconsider the whole changing the name to Mr. Pixel? Because I still reckon that's
You know what, man? Look, one day I literally went on Twitter and changed my name to Mr. Pixel. And of course, I lost my little blue check mark or whatever for a while. When it came back, I literally was like, you know what? I don't want to own being Mr. Pixel, like the name like that. So I switched it back to Devon Digital because, to be honest with you, I tell a lot of people, I fell into this Pixel thing. I didn't I didn't like this. This was never the thing I wanted to do. I wanted to be a tech reviewer. And Marquez was like an idol for me back in the days. I don't like him now. No offense to Marquez. He just outgrown him. But when I was coming up in his tech and I was looking at tech videos, he was like my go-to. He reviewed everything that I wanted to purchase, everything I was looking at, he reviewed it. I wanted to be like that. I wanted to be that guy. But I just realized that I don't have all the money in the world, so I could not keep up with buying every new tech come out to review. So I started just reviewing the things that I use. Right. At first, I was like a Samsung channel for a minute because I was using that. And then the Pixel 6 came out and I fell in love with the Pixels. And then I started switching all my stuff from Samsung to Pixel. So then I started getting views and people was liking it. And I was like, well, hell, I like this phone. I'm going to stick with this phone. If I ever like a different phone, my channel will switch to that phone. To be honest with you, I just go by what I like and what I purchase and use every day. And it happened to be Pixels right now. So that's where I need you down there.
About your channel, because people who, I get it, I'm not big at all. I'm tiny. I'm a nobody. But when I'm just a buddy. When I make videos, I'm not making them because I want to get sponsored. I'm making videos because I bought this product because I use my own money and I'm interested in the product.
Yes.
And Delvon, you could tell by watching your videos, you're passionate about the Pixel, but you don't just say, oh, I love Pixel because Pixel's Pixel. You say there's other things that could be better, but for what my needs, and you're not looking for that. I know you'd love to be a part of Team Pixel, but who cares? Just keep doing what you're doing because your channel is exploding. It's doing really well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my opinion. I don't think.
Listen, let's not build him up too much, right? He's going to get a big ego, and then he's all of a sudden he's going to outgrow us all. All right.
That's okay.
I won't change. Right. I won't change.
We appreciate
when I love something, I love it.
No, we appreciate your honesty, and you know what, you bring a really good voice to the Pixel line and just the Pixel hardware and stuff, and it's good to see people out there doing that kind of stuff, right? But Google, if you are listening, just give this guy send him a DM. Just say hi. That's all.
Maybe no.
Yeah, like say hi to all of us.
If you want to be sponsored by anybody, this Tech
Disruptors. Tech Disruptors. We're looking for a sponsor. We would love to have you on board.
We get copyrighted by Apple every other day, so.
Listen, we hate Apple as much as you do. Listen, we've had some incidents. We won't go into that now. But it's so bizarre. Anytime, as long as that's an Apple content, something inadvertently happens. You remember a couple of weeks ago when we started talking shit right at the very beginning, and then boom, like my screen went out. I was out of the stream.
Well, there are some times when Darren likes to put a certain video on the screen that I kick him out purposely.
Haven't done that yet today. Haven't done that. That's our running joke here at Tech Disruptors. But now, can we just talk about I think this is a ridiculous piece of tech that's come out. And look, I'm just going to sidetrack this by saying I don't think we should be giving children tech early. And that's my point of view.
What's early?
I'm saying before the age of 15.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, you may have heard of this company. They're also a big fan of Google.
Jojo's like, God dang it. Why
yes.
Today?
Hey, Jojo, how's it going? No. Okay, so Fitbit has released the children's wearable, I guess we'll call it, called the Ace.
Let me hold on. Before you go any further, so both my kids have phones. They're Android devices, and they both want to watch. And I'd love to get them a smartwatch, but most like Samsung, Google, required to be at least 13. My oldest is 13, and my youngest is 10. So the 10-year-old can't really use a watch. And most of the watches aimed at a 10-year-old have service built in. And I want more of a notification like most smartwatches we use as adults. Like, hey, I got an email, I got a text message.
Yeah.
So this was interesting at first. So I got some questions if anybody here on the panel knows more about it. But let Darren go a little further.
I did write an article about it. But
okay.
Okay.
So some questions then. So Darren, you keep going. Don't bomb it too hard. All
right? I won't bomb it too hard. So so for those of you who are unfamiliar,
hold on. I'm still contemplating buying it too, by the way. So this is going to make.
100. Listen, I first of all, I just want to put this out there. I don't begrudge anybody for their purchases. My son does have a phone, but it's literally for one reason, and that's just for texting us that he's on the bus and that he's on his way home. I know for somebody that loves tech, and I think this is an ongoing issue for a lot of people, but as someone said it in the chat here, when 11-year-olds are getting iPhone 15s, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot of exposure early on. Now, Fitbit's come out and said, you know what? We think we have something that might work for you. It's a connected smartwatch that transforms exercise into play and safely helps kids lead a more active and independent life.
I actually like this concept. I love this concept. I really do.
So Jojo, you wrote an article about this. So I'm just gonna get you to tag in here. So what's the premise or the purpose of this watch?
So what I like about it, I'm going to tell you what I do like about it. What I like about it is that it's supposed to replace having to give your child a phone, because this watch is not, it doesn't require a phone in order to use it. So like the parent is the one who's activating this watch on their phone, and they're keeping the software on their phone. So the child, it does not have to have a phone. So basically you're concerned about giving a phone to a child, too early, that can go away. The watch can be like the communicator for this child. So this is how you're going to track them. This is how you're going to message them. You can control who can message the child. So there's no like weirdos, messaging your kid.
Yep.
Jojo, does it run Wear OS?
It does run Wear OS.
Like a streamlined
but
version
it's a streamlined version. It's not like Wear OS. Like,
okay.
I guess in the back, it's running Wear OS, but it has this weird UI, not weird, but like a very child,
like if child friendly.
You know why I asked that?
Friendly UI.
The reason why I asked that is because it's an Android device, and someone's gonna grab this, hack it, and make it a Wear OS watch. I'm just waiting for it to happen.
You know that story is gonna come out in about a week.
Right.
Somebody took the watch and put.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about it. What I don't like about it is that there's a subscription attached to it. So you don't just buy the watch. You also have to pay for the LTE service. And then you're not paying.
That sucks, man. Yeah. Like, I don't want another thing to pay for. Like, like you're
expensive though. Yeah. If I remember correctly.
It's $10 a month. You could pay $200 annually. And I think they give you like a 50% discount. Like if you buy it. But the issue is that a lot of people are turned off by that because subscription, they don't want to have to pay. Well, they just want to buy the watch and not have to worry about it. But you don't
just
do
pay
it
for the LTE?
You can pay for it, but the thing is that you have to do it through Google. You can't just put it on your account.
It can't be your own account. It has to be through Google's system.
I mean, I'm fine with that if it's $10, because for my child's safety and stuff like that, keeping them connected so I know where they are is worth it. Yeah. But if you're talking
that's
about
you. But we're talking about like people in general don't like having to pay a subscription, especially now that everything is going up.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be the purpose of the watch in the first place if you're considering it, the people who are going to get this? Because you either buy this watch and then pay $10, or you buy a whole phone and pay a whole $80 phone bill.
That's true.
That's exactly what I'm saying. The only issue I have with this is that like my kids already have phones, and I want a smartwatch from Google that allows them to use it before the age of 13. Not because I want them to be on their smartwatch. Just because
this is 7 years old, I believe, is the
but it's not. It won't give notifications. It doesn't link with. It won't link with their phone. That's the impression I got from what I've read.
Yeah,
is that correct? It's a self-contained ecosystem. It's like everything's on the watch. It doesn't connect to the phone unless the parent, except for the parents.
Yeah.
Right.
The parent is basically the one controlling it.
Correct. Okay.
Do you want to know how I look at this? Like, I think about my son, and I know for a fact that if I put this on my son's wrist and he goes to school, he's playing games and he's finding every other way to distract himself from school.
But you can probably restrict the times that you can use games on it.
Yes. You can restrict a lot of
this.
But you know what? Like, a lot of these kids today, like, I think that all they want to do is try to occupy their time. And it might not be able to do anything, and they might not be able to play games, but I could see him just messing with shit and just, tap, 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 tap the whole time. And I mean, that's just my son. I know he's a fidgeter, so like he gets distracted easily. I could see that, right? I understand the tracking features. I like that, like Dalvon said, like being able to know where my son is. But I'm also somebody that load jacks my son's school bag with an AirTag. So I'm that person. And I mean, I know, when he's coming.
Hold on, why AirTag? Google has their own now.
Yeah, no, I do. I know it, but that's what I threw in his bag at the time. But I understand the need to kind of know where the kids are and the ability to kind of be able to text and phone call. I understand that part of it. I'm not, like Jojo said, I'm not a fan of the subscription either. I think people are getting the problem too much.
I have a couple people that have Verizon has the Gizmo or and they charge them $5-10 a month. And I think if my kids this was pre-cell phone, like my 13-year-old they were both 10-year-olds or not, whatever, and they didn't have phones yet. If this would have came out a year and a half ago, I would have bought 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. Really?
But nothing. None of the current kids' smartwatches are what I wanted.
Yeah.
And this would have been perfect for my kids. And
it looks nice.
It does.
It does look nice.
It looks like a Versa.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like when my daughter get old enough, I'm not gonna buy her nothing like this. I'm just gonna buy a smartwatch with LTE and just restrict some of the things she can do up there and just track her with that. Because I mean, at least she can grow into the watch as she get older and stuff like that. But like this here is just not something I'll be looking at.
You don't get the cool games.
Yeah, I know.
But like my man Darren said, I don't want her. I don't want her in class playing games. So if she has a watch that can't game, or if I can restrict it more, then But I don't want. I just need her to be able to be tracked and text me, or I could call whenever I need to get in touch with her.
I think the games are more subtle than we think. They talk about the games.
I'm pretty sure they are. They're like Snake up there, right there. So
that's an exercise ring, though. I think that's an exercise ring.
I'll be honest with you.
Oh, okay, you might be right. I see.
If I had that screen on my smartwatch, I'd watch that fucking Snake all day long. I would watch. That would be me. I would be watching that thing. I would be watching it going around trying to follow my. I would try to get it to the end. Someone said it here in the chat. Like we actually need kids to be reminded to exercise. Like
now we do, yes, because the kids are surrounded by technology and everything.
It depends on your kid, though. It depends on your kid. We got a lot of active kids. I work with kids, and a lot of them are active. Then there's a lot of them that's really not. They just come inside the building and sit down. Other ones just like they so hype and uppity and ready to do anything. So I guess it really that would be like a situational thing when it comes to based off your kid. So
fair, yeah. Well, look, I think one thing we can all agree on is that technology is taking a lot of these everyday things away from kids. And, like I said, my opinion is that, I try to restrict it as much as I can with my own son, each to their own. And I understand what Delvon's saying about, obviously the games is always a big issue because I can see my son just finding a way around the parental restrictions. He's that kid.
Darren.
But I mean, so would I. So,
this Fitbit watch. You know what I imagine? There's a big industrial press. Okay. And in that press, there's a phone.
Really?
There's a computer.
Yes.
There's a gaming device. And activity trackers, and then it's just smashing it. And once it's done, it lifts up. And there's that Fitbit device.
Yes.
Oh man, if you don't shut up, I know what you're talking about.
It took me a minute to see where he was going with this.
Facts though. But I'll tell you one thing though. My wife, she's real strict about this tech. I'm a tech guy. She's not. Like I'm in tech. She's not. So like one day I sat my daughter down on the ground and put her toys in front of her, and then I put my iPad in front of her with a video on, and my wife was like, "No, you're not about to make turn my daughter into a tablet kid." I was like, "Oh, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. I never do it again." So she wants to, keep her right. She wants to keep her away from the technology as much as possible. And I said that, you know what, you're right, because if I look at how a lot of these kids are consumed by it, because I work with kids every day. It's terrible how much they're consumed. And then like some parents thrive off, like when they go to the babysitter, they literally give them a tablet or a phone to help babysit the kid. And that's terrible. And I don't want my daughter to be one of those kids that need that to be calmed down.
You make good point.
My nephew's 5. He has an iPad and all. Knows how to work and everything.
But listen,
he's done.
everyone parents differently. And I think what's good about, at least like, I don't know much about Apple, but with Google Family Link, you can limit all these apps. Like my kids right now, if they install an app, they gotta get permission. I can limit every app how many hours.
iPad too. You can do it on the iPad too.
Yeah, so I think it's like as long as you are the responsible parent are making the choices that's best for your family, that's the best you can do. You can't, I mean, everyone's different. Dalvon, your wife might be different than my wife and your family. And so we just got to make the best choices. And Google it's a very good product for certain individuals, not for everyone.
It is. Cause I think like, because I'm from the 80s and raised, I'm 84. 84. So back in
way.
84.
I know.
So back in our days,
hold on. I thought you were like 25 or something.
We're all 25, man. I just turned 40 this year, bro. 40 this year.
God, your back hurts, your knees are hurting. You're in bad
my
shape.
foot, my left foot right now. It's starting to show his age. but no, seriously, I was raised, going to ride my bicycle, going to the park, playing with friends and stuff like that. And that was our social life. And I kind of want that for my daughter. I want my daughter to know what it's like to socialize with people instead of being more disconnected with technology. Because kids, like I said, again, I've been dealing with kids for years. When you see kids on phones, they're all sitting together, but they're all on their phone. Nobody's talking, nobody's engaging. None of that is going on. So I don't want my daughter to grow up like that. I want her to be able to put her phone down and be part of like whatever's happening and stuff like that. Even my wife gets on me about taking my phone down while we're out at dinner and stuff, because I be having my phone up, you know what I'm saying? But she don't like that, so I ain't want to speak too loud because she might hear me.
The wife will hear. So just to wrap up, there's a great article on a website called The Cut, and if you're interested in what we're talking about here, it's a great article that was written about a young high school student who didn't have an iPhone, and some of the backlash that teenagers get when they don't have the latest and greatest technology. So if you get a chance to check it out, check out this article here on The Cut. Great little follow-up article to what Dalvon's saying and all of us are mentioning here when it comes to tech. Now, speaking of tech, that actually brings us to the end of tonight's show. So thank you very much to Kia and Jojo. We love having you guys on. Thank you very much for your amazing additions.
And Dalvon.
And I was going to get to Dalvon.
I mean, he showed up naked. I mean, come on.
He showed up naked. I mean, that's got next level. That's next level. And it's funny. I don't know, Tuna, if you remember this. I posted about a month ago saying that if we made 1,000 subscribers, you and I would do the show naked.
Yes.
Delvon just jumped it. He just jumped the gun. He just came in early.
I did it a little early. My bad. My bad. Now we got to get to like 1,001 now. 1,001. Then everybody does it naked. Yeah,
that's it. That's exactly right. Yeah. So thank you very much, everybody that's tuned in to the Tech Disruptors podcast. We appreciate you all joining us. And you can check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere that good podcasts are shared. And feel free to hit that like and subscribe button and check out these lovely people that you see up on screen. They all do amazing content and are worth spending a little bit of time learning who they are and what they do. So thank you very much, Jojo, Kia, Jason, Dalvon, and everybody else that's listening right now. And we will catch you on the next one.